The first level of security where your design can have a significant impact is on network-level access control. For example, if you remove the external IP from an instance in a bastion host design, you eliminate one target that could be attacked. Locking down network access to only what's required is one way to reduce the potential attack surface.
So let's get into network access control and firewalls. In this case here, firewalls is really our first line of defense, trying to prevent any unauthorized access to ports, protocols, and communications that we do not want to allow. And we now have configured our firewalls so we can block egress, ingress, as well as from the client to the individual network. So we can actually isolate the virtual machines, both ingress and egress. So this way the servers can actually talk privately to other virtual machines. The clients will have ingress capability to talk to VMs if necessary, and then of course being able to get access to the network at all. So we do provide both an ingress and egress firewall rules. We allow permit and deny. We can also sort which priorities that we want to take, as well as it's completely distributed. So it's not just enforced on the host, where if you install IP tables. When you set up a Google Cloud Firewall, again, it's not an appliance. It's not a physical thing that can be hacked into. It's not going to have a single point of failure, etc. This is a distributed set of rules that as soon as you enter the Google network and we find out your destination IP is going to be your network, we apply all of these different firewall rules, whether they be both internal or external, to ensure security throughout the entire connection. So when you take a look at designing your VMs for security, the whole goal is really don't expose your VMs to the external internet. Ideally, put these behind a Google Network Load Balancer. That way your firewall rules will only permit traffic to the VMs.
Network logo. Sorry, I can't show you pictures. I don't have a screen.
That's kind of cute. So anyway, you can tell I have a Google Home here. So in this case, you can block everything from the outside internet and only allow your firewall rules to communicate to your VMs. Now this is quite important because it keeps it simple, right? You don't have to worry about what VMs are exposed. None of them should be exposed. In fact, if you need to access those VMs, set up a bastion host. Use the Google Cloud Shell. So this way we can block SSL access specifically to a whole range of different IPs, except to a redundant server that does have access. So in this case here, you want to protect them with GCE firewalls. You always want to secure your connection. So put that behind a load balancer, SSL or HTTPSH, port forwarding or a SOCKS proxy over SSH using the Google Cloud Shell. And of course, if you have VMs without external IP addresses, that's when a bastion host is perfect, NAT gateways, and interactive serial console. So you can actually go in, enable serial console access, and disable the SSH port altogether if really all you need is command line access. Another one is API access control. So using cloud endpoints. Oftentimes as a service, you just want to expose something to the web through a protected API endpoint. Well, now you can control who has access, utilizing and validating every single call with a JSON web token and Google API keys. So you pass the keys, you want to rotate these keys quite often, and ensure that tokens are provided by the user and or remote applications. So this way we can do dual authentication to identify users and or actual other applications that may need to communicate with our web endpoint.